Recording going. Fantastic. I'll just hit this button here. Nice. Alrighty. Still have my socks on. We had a real cold snap. Hey. You'll need 2 blocks and a strap for today's class. To support you where we're going. So I've been thinking about this concept called Shraddha, which is a concept that was introduced to me through my yoga practice, obviously, because it's a Sanskrit word. And I've been taught that Shraddha means faith. And the literal translation is that which you put your heart into. And it's the concept behind it, though, is a little bit different, I think, to the whole blind faith concept that we might have more in Western world, where it's more about how do you cultivate that container and that capacity to hold the faith and keep the faith when you're making a transition, or you're making a change, or you're moving towards something you desire. And it doesn't always kind of happen straight away. And I know myself, when I make scary changes, I have this tendency to lose my faith and freak out. But Shraddha is all about that which you place into your heart, and then learning to move from this place of trust and confidence and knowing in your heart, and allowing that to lead you as you move forward, even when it's a little bit scary and you're not sure of the outcome, right? And all you can be sure of is the effort and the action that you take. And it's that effort and action that cultivates the faith, cultivates the trust, cultivates the knowing, cultivates that stability. So we're going to be doing an effort and action kind of class to cultivate faith today. I hear you say, yes, woohoo! So shall we take a comfortable seat? Just taking the thighs back and apart, and just lift the pubic bone towards the navel as you exhale, and close your eyes and take a bright breath in, just breathing all the way up through your body, filling every part of your inner body. And then as you exhale, just soften your shoulder blades down your back and anchor your seat bones into the mat. And keep taking those bright breaths in. Every time you take a full, bright inhale, you're reminding yourself of your inner fullness. And part of keeping your faith or holding your center is being reminded that you're already enough. What you have right now is perfect. And everything you need is already available to you. So just breathe into that knowing and breathe into your heart space. Anchoring your awareness and your attention into that place that trusts and knows. And maybe if there's something in your life where you need to keep the faith or practice building that ability to hold steady, just place that in your heart right now. Breathe into this place within you that already knows, always trusts, is always confident. And then bring your hands together in front of your heart. Inhaling deeply. Exhale fully. Bow your head to your heart. Release your hands. Inhale, lift your head and open your eyes. Alrighty, so we're actually going to start on our backs today. So you'll need your strap. I might just keep my socks on if that's all right for the starting part, because it's We've had a real cold snap, which is spring in Christchurch. And coming down onto your back, so you can keep your knees bent, grab your strap, and take the strap around the ball of your right foot, and inhale, straighten your right leg. Now, faith is an action, right? It's this, there's a double, like we take action and we cultivate a container to progress in the direction of our dreams confidently. So to build confidence in our system and trust in our system, we have to take those actions of muscle energy. So that's where we spread the toes, push the big toe ball mound into the strap, and just begin to pull your little toe ball mound towards you, and really hug the muscles of your legs to the bones, creating this strength, this surety. And then begin to hug your shins into the midline. So it's like a millimeter movement where you draw into the midline, and that midline is that point just running along the spine, the center of your spine. And there's this ability to hug into yourself and hold yourself. And then begin to draw from the heel down the bones of the legs all the way up into the hips, so that you're pulling energy into this focal point of your pelvis. So we're creating a place of connection and integration, drawing all parts of yourself into the pelvis. Soon it'll be the heart, creating an inner knowing, an inner connection and integration with your desire. Now take the strap in your right hand. I think I said the right leg going up. So, sorry, moving the right leg out to the side. Normally I mirror, but I'm not sure I did, so sorry. And keep that confidence in your leg that you just created before. Remind yourself to hug in, drawing the feet up into the belly, keeping the muscles activated, building strength, building stability, building confidence, building this ability to hold yourself. And then inhale, come back to center. And begin to just bend your knee, moving the knee towards the armpit, just creating that opening of the hip. We're opening up into the hips a little bit to start class. Creating that opening of the hips, elbow moving towards armpit, keeping that faith. So notice if your left leg with the foot on the ground starts to splay out, and can you hug the shin in so the knee doesn't kind of lean out, but it's pointing straight up, and that your foot looks like it's standing on the ceiling. And if you can bring it a little bit deeper, you could take your hand to the outside edge of your right foot, elbow inside the knee. And even here, if you've got that action, just begin to hug the knee into the elbow or into the upper arm, creating this container of surety. Releasing the foot, release the strap, and just bring the foot over the left ankle. And spread the toes again, anchoring into the floor. Hug muscles to bones, and then as you lift up your left foot, draw the heel of the foot up into the belly. So there's this energetic drawing of heel to belly, and notice how your belly draws back towards your spine as you do that. So there's this pulling into this focal point of your belly to create integration, right? Pulling every part of you into this place of trust and knowing. And then if you can, just hold that, keeping the feet active and engaged. With every inhalation, maybe draw the knee a little bit closer towards the chest as you push the right knee away gently with the exhalation. And then release that, placing your feet on the mat, shimmy to the opposite side. Keeping the knees bent, grab your strap again and take the strap around the ball of your left leg. And again, anchor into the four corners of that right foot into the earth. Spread the toes on your left foot. Hug muscles to bones. And then hug both the shins in towards the midline and draw from the heels all the way up into your belly. Exhale, lift the pubic bone towards your belly and just feel your navel, your belly move back towards the spine, just creating strength and integration. So there's an opening into the possibilities in your hamstring within the container of surety that you're creating in your legs. Now take the strap in your left hand and begin to open your leg out to the side, just coming into that hip opening activity, and keep that surety in your legs, keep that confidence in your legs, and even draw that left heel up into the belly. So there's this energetic drawing into yourself, because part of the faith is this ability to connect into yourself and hold yourself steady, stable, and strong, no matter what happens. So most of the time, when we lose the faith, we're completely frightened that we're going to fall on our face and hurt ourselves and be humiliated. And that is a very real possibility. But the practice is to move beyond that fear and cultivate the strength to keep moving forward, no matter what, believing and knowing in your outcome. Inhale, come up, and then bend the knee, moving the knee towards the armpit, keeping the foot anchored. Hug your right shin in so that the right knee is pointing up towards the ceiling. You can take your left hand to the outside edge of your left foot and even hug that left shin in towards the elbow area of your left hand that's inside your knee, just drawing in, creating this surety and strength and confidence in your system, in yourself, to hold yourself. And then release that and cross your left ankle over your right knee, just coming into Sukhi Randrasana, and then drawing up from the heel of your foot into your belly as you lift that right leg up, keeping both feet active and engaged. Hug into the midline. Even here, notice how that kind of creates a sense of strength in your belly, or a connection and an integration. That's what you want to be able to do, is connect and integrate into your inner knowing and move from that place. And this time, just release the legs, but hug your knees back in towards your chest and make your way into happy baby. So having both hands to the outside edges of your feet, both elbows inside your knees, spreading the toes, make your feet strong, and then invite strength into your system by hugging muscles to the bones. And even now begin to hug your shins into your forearms. Just feel how that activates all parts of you. And then can you draw the heels down into the belly energetically, and exhale the pubic bone to navel, and you should feel this container building within your system. Now begin to bring your inside edges of your feet together. Bring your hands above you so that the wrists are over your shoulders. Spread your fingers nice and wide. And then we're going to exhale, push the hands away, pull the knees towards the armpits, and come into a bit of a push-up here, a bit of a stomach crunch here. Hug your knees into the tops of your arms, spread your toes, draw your heels into your belly. Exhale, come down. We're going to do that 4 more times. Inhale, come up. Woo. Hug in. Find that place and hug in. Draw into yourself. And then come down. 3 more times. Coming up. Hug the knees into the forearms. Spread the toes. And then come down. 2 more times. Activating. Pulling up. Your shoulders draw onto your back. Your feet draw into your belly. You feel everything integrating. It's a powerful act. Now, I don't know how many we've done. Let's do two more. This is 2, and then after this we'll do 1. And last time, coming up. Hug the knees into the tops of the arms. Really cultivate that strength, and then release. Just give your knees the ability to drop from side to side. Feel that power, right? There's this creating this sense of personal power in your belly when you do that. Wonderful. And then inhale, begin to make your way into table, please. There you go. Socks have come off. Middle of the wrist in line with the outside edges of your shoulders. Toes tucked under. And spread the fingers wide, and just be mindful about how you place your hands. Place them as if you could hold yourself, anchoring the pointer finger mound, thumb mound, pinky finger mound, and outer mound into the mat, and then grip the mat with the pads of your fingers. Feel how that creates a container for strength. And now hug your forearms towards each other and make that commitment unwavering. Draw the shoulder blades together on your back, and then keeping that unwavering commitment in your arms so that they do not bend as you move. Just take the thighs back, bring the chest and the heart through, come into cow, and then exhale, round the spine, coming up into cat. Inhale, coming through. Exhale, rounding. Inhale, coming through. That's it, beautiful. Exhale, rounding. Just keep moving with your breath. Rounding. The practice here, while we're opening up into the spine, is really, can you keep that unwavering commitment in your arms so that the arms are unshakable, and then knowing that you can hold yourself as you move forward, and bring your attention into your heart space and let your heart space lead you as you move through cat-cow. Fabulous. And then inhale, come into table again. Feel that commitment. You might even notice that one side's kind of working a bit harder than the other. We tend to have a stronger side. And then if you can, turn your hands out to the long edge of your mat, fingertips out to the long edge of your mat. And we'll just move from side to side here. Just rocking those shoulders, moving the body side to side. Fabulous. Notice how the wrists are starting to wake up. And then depending on whether your wrists are a little bit more open or not, inhale, come back to center. And the invitation is now to turn your hands so that the fingers point all the way back to your knees. Anchoring with that certainty and surety. If they don't point all the way back towards your knees, then you can keep them where they were previously. And we're just going to hold that unwavering commitment in our arms. It might be a little bit more challenging now. And then move the thighs back and apart, bring the chest through, and then round the spine. Coming through, inhale. Exhale, rounding. 2 more times, coming through. Exhale, round. And then bring your hands forward. Just come back, sit on your heels, give your hands a bit of a shake because that is quite a good strong one, but really great for wrist support. And then maybe a bit of a circle. And then let's come back down onto the mat, placing your hands so that you know that they can hold you with trust and confidence. We're just going to move forwards and backwards, holding that unwavering commitment in your hands. So come back down into child's pose. Arms stay steady, stable and strong. Then inhale, come forward and move forward. Let your heart lead you forward, like come forward further than you've ever come forward before. And then exhale, drop back into child's pose. Inhale, come forward. Hold here for a moment, really pushing from the heart into the hands. Exhale, come back. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, come back. Few more times. Just opening up, anchor into the pads of the fingers, mounds of the palms, really hug those forearms into the midline, keeping that strength, keeping that faith, keeping that stability in your hands. Last 2 times, coming through. Moving back. Last time, inhale, coming through. And then exhale, come back. Perfect. Just dropping back into child's pose. And then inhale, come back into table. And step your left leg behind you. Turn the inner thigh in, spread the toes on both feet, and hug the heel of the left foot up into your belly. So you should feel this lifting of belly to spine as you do that. Keep that, and inhale, lift the left foot up, coming into tiger table. And then, if you can, come up onto the right fingertips and inhale, reach the right hand out in front of you. So this action of muscle energy creates support and stability. So hug the muscles to the bones. Draw it from the fingertips of your right hand and the heel of your left foot into your belly. Hold that. Now hug your right forearm into the midline and your left shin into the midline. So there's just like a millimeter movement, but notice how that millimeter creates way more strength. And then from that, expand out through the fingertips and the heel, keeping that strength. And then come down. Ooh, that's a strong one, huh? Yeah. Second side. Take strength to move forward with faith. Tuck the back toes under on your right leg. Hug muscles to bones. Draw that heel up into the belly. Feel the belly lift and tone. And then inhale, lift your right leg up. Anchoring with confidence into your your right hand as you inhale, lift your left hand up. Spread the fingers in that hand, spread the toes on your foot, hug the muscles to the bones. Draw the fingertips and the heel up into the belly, right? Feel how the belly lifts. Now draw the shin and the forearm into the midline. Notice how that acts as an extra level of integration. And you're kind of pulling every part of you into this unwavering commitment, even if you might be shaking. Wonderful. Exhale, come down. Drop back, child's pose. Breathe into your heart space. Feel the pads of your fingers like holding the certainty. And then inhale, come back into table, tuck your toes under, and come up, downward facing dog. And just walk the dog. Begin to drop your left heel down as you bend the right knee, the right heel down as you bend the left knee, opening up into the backs of your legs. Creating, opening, while you hold this unwavering commitment in your arms, hugging the forearms in towards the midline. Hold that, look forward at your hands, bend your knees, lightly step, jump or walk forward, Uttanasana. Lift your heart halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, melt your heart. Ground down through your legs and inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands together in front of your heart. Beautiful. Reaching for the sky, inhale. Exhale, bend your knees, sink your hips, chair pose. Fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift your heart halfway. Exhale, melt your heart, place your hands, step your left leg back, coming into the lunge. Create that integration, hug muscles to bones, hug the feet towards each other, pull up into your belly, and then begin to inhale, take your right hand up towards the ceiling, coming into twisted lunge. Beautiful. Keep drawing everything into the midline here. Nice. Exhale, unwind. Place your hands, come into plank pose or table, choosing your options. Hug the shins in, hug your forearms in, create that integration. Lift pubic bone towards navel on the exhalation. And then come down, either knees, chest, chin, or Chaturanga Dandasana. And lifting up, Cobra Pose, Bhujangasana. Rolling the head of your arm bones back. Keep that commitment. Elbows hugging in. Come back, downward facing dog. Perfect. Look forward at your hands, bend your knees, lightly step, jump or walk forward, Uttanasana. Lifting your heart halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, melt your heart. Ground down through your legs, and inhale, rising all the way up. Exhale, hands together in front of your heart. Reaching for the sky, inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift your heart halfway. Exhale, melt your heart. Place your hands, step your right leg back. Integrate, create this confidence and this trust by hugging muscles to the bones. Draw your feet towards each other. Hug the shins into the midline and then open up, taking that left hand up towards the ceiling. To be able to expand, you have to draw in. You have to create that integrated connection, all parts of yourself coming together. Exhale, unwind. Place your hands, step back, plank or table, choosing your options. Come down, either knees, chest, chin, or Chaturanga Dandasana. And then lifting your heart, Cobra Pose, Bhujangasana. Spread the toes. And come back, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Look forward at your hands, bend your knees, lightly step, jump or walk forward, Uttanasana. Lift your heart halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Ground down through your legs and inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands together in front of your heart. Just pause here for a moment to stand in your power. Anchor the four corners of your feet into the mat. Inhale, lift your toes. Feel the power building. Like this is, you build this power. Now hug muscles of the legs to the bones and hug your shins into the midline. Draw your heels up into your belly. And then take the thighs back. And then lift your pubic bone towards your navel on the exhalation. Turn your palms forward. Feel that integration, that connection to this power that resides within you, this knowing, this trust, this confidence. Keeping that inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift your heart halfway. Nice. Exhale, melt your heart. Place your hands. Step your right leg back and turn your right toes to the long edge of your mat and rise up, warrior two. Look out over the middle finger of your left arm. So you're creating this drishti point, this focus, right? From the heart, draw into the heart and then expand out from the heart. Anchor into your feet, draw the feet towards each other, pull up into the belly, lift pubic bone to navel, create that certainty, that integration, that power. Just reside there. Now exhale, bring your forearm on top of the front thigh. You might need your block actually for the next action. Bring your fingertips, your hand on a block on the inside edge of your knee. Back hand on the hip. So anchor into the feet, hug muscles to bones, draw the feet up into the hip, belly. Now use that reference point of the arm on the inside of the knee and the leg to hug the shin into the midline. Feel how that creates an extra level of power and certainty in that front leg. So you use your arm to push the knee so that the knee stays over the ankle, it's not collapsing in, but you hug in. Even make a face like, there's a power. But even notice how that power may create a bigger opening. Nice. Now extend the top arm up and over, holding that certainty open to the possibility. Beautiful. Cartwheel that top hand down. Come onto the ball of your back foot and inhale, step forward. Uttanasana. Wonderful. Keep your block handy as you step your left leg back. Turn your left toes to the mat and inhale, rise all the way up, warrior two. Create the knowing, right? Faith is an action. Create the faith. You know what to do. When you start to lose the faith, you know what to do. Hug in, roar in, cultivate stability. Now begin to bring that top forearm onto the thigh, then place your block, place the hand on the block. Acting in a way to trust, to create trust. Create that certainty. Hug muscles to the bones, and then begin to use the arm on the inside edge of your leg as a reference point. Hugging in, shin hugs into the arm, but use your arm to push back so that you're creating this sense of power here. Nice. Cartwheel that top hand down, come onto the ball of your back foot. Inhale, step forward, Uttanasana. Lift your heart halfway. Exhale, melt your heart. Ground down into your legs and inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands together in front of your heart. Beautiful. And just step to the long edge of your mat. Turn your toes out so that the feet aren't parallel. Ground down into the four corners of your feet, and then begin to bend your knees, sink your hips. Just come into goddess pose, right? Hands together in front of your heart. Can you sink a little bit deeper? Nice. Now, keep working the knees open, but hug muscles to bones. I know you get this for free here. Hug the shins in energetically. Feel how that fires things up, right? You're creating this strength in your container, this knowing. Draw up into your belly, lift the pubic bone towards the navel, and then sink a little bit deeper. I know. Oh, yeah. Keep hugging into yourself. One more breath. Inhale. Rise up. Beautiful. Heel toe your feet together. And take them out just a little bit wider than hips distance. You can have your toes slightly turned out depending on how open your hips are. And begin to we'll just start with skier's pose to begin with. So just come down. So we're coming into a variation of chair pose where you are sitting down like this. Yeah. Feet are nice and wide. Practice that shin hugging in. Even actually bring your hands to the outside edges of your shins. Just practice pushing the shins in using your hands. Now take the thighs back, lift your pubic bone towards your navel. Notice the container you're creating. Now fold forward. Woo, Uttanasana. Beautiful. Inhale, come up halfway. This time, sink a little bit deeper, coming all the way down into Malasana. Now, if Malasana is not an option for you, you can stay in that downhill skier's chair pose. Now, bring your arms to inside your knees. You can have your toes turned out. You can have your feet a bit wider. Find the place that brings as much comfort in this pose as you possibly can. Imagine. Now, I want you to lift your toes, invite that certainty, that knowing in, and begin to hug, just like we did a long time ago in class. Hug your knees into the tops of your arms. Yeah? Feel how that trust fires up. Perfect. Now, energetically push your hands back into your knees, but they're unwavering, so they're not going to move, right? They're unwavering in their commitment. Beautiful. Fold forward. Uttanasana. Deep sigh. Last time, just coming down into Malasana. Ooh, sinking down. And this time, well, it's not the last time, but it's the last time for this part. This time, arms in front of the knees, right, inside the knees, sorry. Place your hands on the mat and practice squeezing the mat with your hands. It might feel a bit weird because there's no weight in them. So you're squeezing the shins into your arms. Your hands are on the mat. You're squeezing your hands into the mat. Hug your elbows in. So you're practicing hugging your elbows in. Actually, exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Let's grab our blocks. Give us a bit of height in the hands. Place the blocks in front of you. That might give you a bit more knowing and certainty in that experiment. So bend down. That's all it is, right? When you place a vision in your heart, it's just an experiment with your future. That's all you're doing. What can I create? Yeah. Well, you know from your yoga practice, you can create amazing things. Hug the knees in towards the tops of the arms. Really create that strength. Keep your toes spread. Place your hands on the blocks. Grip the blocks with your hands. Push the pointer finger mound in and really hug your forearms in. So there's this unwavering. Remember what we did in table? Unwavering, hugging in of forearms. As soon as they start to spread out, you lose your knowing, you lose your trust, you lose your confidence. Beautiful. Fold forward. Nice. And just make your way into pigeon with your right leg forward. So we're going to have a play. You do pigeon. I'm going to do a quick demo. We're going to have a play with coming into Bekasana. So we're going to use the blocks to put our feet on the blocks to give us a bit more height. Now, the first thing we're going to do, just place our hands on the mat, hug the knees in like we did before, come up onto the toes, and just practice like we did, unwavering in the arms hug in, bringing the heart forward. I don't want you to kind of work on coming up. It's just practicing that move of bringing the heart forward. Now, if you think and you're afraid of falling on your face, the good news is you're at home. You can grab a pillow and have a safety blanket or a safety pillow, right? Hugging the forearms in, you're just practicing moving the heart forward. Right, second side with your pigeon pose. Go to the other side. I'd hate you to get unbalanced. So once we've done the practicing moving the heart forward, we're going to, with trust and confidence and faith, place our hands, pointer finger mound, thumb mound, pinky finger mound, outside edge mound, grip the mat with our fingertips, hug the forearms in towards each other, right? So they're unwavering. Hug the knees in towards the center, into the midline. Come forward. Now you might just want to stay here and hold this, but practice spreading your toes and pulling up into your belly. Or you can sneak forward again, maybe lift one foot up, maybe lift both feet up. Coming into Bekasana. Shall we play? Shall we try? Yeah, awesome. Come out of pigeon pose. Let's work, grab your blocks. Such an empowering pose. Grab your pillow if you think you're going to need one. There's a reason that pillows were invented. That's it. To save the face plant. Yeah, because it's a really valid kind of fear that we have, right? I'm moving out into the unknown. My heart tells me to take this direction and I'm really scared. I don't know if I can do it. And I think I'm going to face plant. Well, let's see if we can do it. Alrighty. Come down, standing on your blocks. You've got this. Beautiful. Place your hands on the mat. And we're just playing with that first part to begin with, playing with the actions. Hug the knees in, yeah? Grip the mat with your hands. Hug your forearms in. So there's this unwavering knowing, right? No need to take flight or hold yourself. Just move forward. Come up onto your tippy toes. Move the heart forward. Let the heart lead. And then exhale, come back. Keep hugging the knees in. Keep hugging the forearms in. unwavering in that place as you move your heart forward. Yeah. Nice work. Last time, just practicing moving your heart forward, squeezing into yourself, moving your heart forward. Lovely. Come back. Whew. All right. Now, if that was enough, you just repeat that, right? Because it's just a practice of the actions. There's no gold stars, but it's just a journey of progression. You build your confidence and your knowing as you practice the actions over time. Alrighty. Or if you want to, just play with lifting one foot up. Place your hands. Create certainty. Hug your forearms in. Hug your knees in. Draw into your belly. Begin to move your heart forward. Come up onto the tippy toes. Stay here. Keep hugging into yourself. Maybe lift one leg up. See how that feels. Maybe lift two. Hallelujah. Maybe come down. Well done. Amazing. Give yourself a round of applause. Yeah. Pats on the backs, right? It's effort and action that builds this knowing. And all you have to do is keep showing up for yourself and amazing things happen, like arm balancing poses. All right. Move the blocks to the side and make your way into child's pose. Big toes together, knees out wide. But place yourself so that you're cultivating trust. Bring your hands beside your knees and roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. Draw your knees in and bring your feet out in front of you. Scooch forward on your mat and roll down onto your back. Place your feet so that you're holding this knowing. Bend your arms at your elbows. Roll the head of your arm bones back and lift your heart. And then anchoring into the tops of your arms and into your feet. Exhale, lift your pubic bone and lift your hips up. Coming into bridge pose. Roll a little bit higher onto the head of your arm bones. You can leave your hands where they are. Place them on your hips or clasp your hands. Run your arms along the floor. Coming up. And then come down vertebrae by vertebrae. Heel toe your feet out to the midline, out a little bit wider, sorry. Bring your knees together. You can bring your hands onto your heart, close your eyes. Building that deep connection to your inner knowing, your inner trust, your inner guidance. Last time doing bridge pose, bring your feet back to hips distance apart. Place your feet with certainty. Bend your arms at your elbows. Connect to that heart center, creating that inner knowing, connection to your inner knowing. And then lifting up the hips as you lift pubic bone to navel. Come up into bridge pose. Roll a little bit higher onto the head of your arm bones. You can leave your hands where they are. Support your hips if you need to. Keep hugging your shins into the midline. Don't let your knees start to splay out. You want to hold that certainty and that trust, that faith. And then coming down vertebrae by vertebrae. Heel toe your feet out wide, bring your knees together, eyes closed. Take your knees over your ankles, bring your arms into strong person pose, and just exhale, drop both knees over to the left side of your body. Inhale, come back to center, both knees over to the right, and moving from side to side. Letting that all unwind. The last phase of any journey towards your heart's desire is just the phase of surrender. You've done the work, you've taken the actions, you've built the container, you know and you trust and you're confident. Then you just let it all go, leaving it to the world to figure it out for you. Exhale, drop both knees over to the left side of your body. Bring your left foot on top of your right knee if that's comfortable for you. If it's not, use one of your blocks underneath your knee just to give it some support. Keeping the shoulders anchored. Inhale, come up. And then exhale, taking both knees over to the right side. Inhale, making your way into happy baby. Keeping a sense of your knowing and your trust and your confidence by spreading the toes, gently hugging in, staying connected and integrated. And then hug your knees in towards your chest. Taking a bright breath in, fold forward, coming up into a small ball. Exhale, release. 2 more times like that. Lifting up, inhale. Exhale, release. Last time. Inhaling. Exhale, release. And then place your feet on the mat. You can heel toe your feet out a bit wider. Bring your knees together if you are building, supporting your lower back. Otherwise, lengthen your legs out long and relax into Shavasana. Surrendering the outcomes of your desires. Surrendering into this inner knowing, this inner trust, this inner confidence. Surrendering into your Shraddha, your faith, that everything will work out. Slowly begin to deepen your breath. Begin to wriggle your fingers and toes and bring movement back into your body. Bend your knees and place your feet on the mat. And roll to one side of your body. And when you're ready, use that strength of your arms to make your way into a comfortable seated position. Keep your eyes closed and bring your hands together in front of your heart. And begin to breathe into your heart center. This place of Shraddha, this place where you place in your heart and move from that place into our ability to cultivate trust and knowing and faith as we move through life by practicing those actions that build it. We bow. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Thank you. Well done. Let me just turn the recording off.